What's going on, my beautiful ladies? In this video, I'm going to be kind of giving you guys the sauce. I'm just going to be giving you guys the game on what you guys can do to attract more emotionally intelligent men and just get better partners. I'll be seeing so many comments and stuff like that on social media of people just talking about like, man, where do I find something like you? Where's mine at? Oh my God, like we're just like super duper rare. And I just want to be honest with you. I don't think that we're rare. I just think that we're being overlooked, and I kind of just want to give you guys some of the things to look out for. Right now, the very first thing that I want you guys to look out for is the shy man. I'm not saying the shy in the way of where he just lacks confidence, right? I'm saying he comes off shy because he's not very eager to intertwine with the things around him. If somebody was to speak to him, or if he did need to speak, he could be very articulate. He feels very confident in himself. He comes off very self-assured, but he's not very eager to want to approach you and start up a random conversation, a small talk, or like he's not gonna be the one who just is very overly flirtatious and stuff. He's gonna keep it small, simple, short, and he's gonna go about his business. That right there is usually a sign of an emotionally intelligent man, right? Because we're acknowledging the interaction for what it is at the simplest of forms, right? We're not getting our emotions involved from the rip. Oh, she said hi to me. Oh, she smiled at me. Oh, she looked at me. Sometimes in the back of our head, we're just like, maybe she's having a very good day. Maybe she's blessed. We just think maybe this is a wholesome interaction. This just may be who she is as a person. Maybe this was just, a very loving, joyful interaction. And this was nothing more than a space for me to, share love with somebody before I went along my journey and continued my day. We see things from a higher perspective of this is an opportunity for me to get some cheeks. So it comes off as us being shy, but we're usually just being more selective. We're consciously aware of the things happening around us, but we want to be sure we're making the right decisions, because typically emotional and maturity and emotional intelligence within a man comes from an immense amount of heartbreak and trauma. He's had to go through an immense amount in his life to get to the point where he's at, so he's not that eager to just put it on the forefront. He's not that eager to have his heart in his hand, just walking around with it. He holds it very close to him. Now, the second thing that I want to touch on about this is when you run into that man. Let's say you do find a man who, is consciously, you can kind of, pick apart his routine. Emotional intelligence shows in different ways, and other than a lot of men be like, oh, I go to the gym and all this other type of stuff. Really look at his routines, look at the books he's reading, look at the things he's liking on social media, look at the type of content he makes, if he does make anything or post on those social media pages. Really analyze the man that you're gauging. And then I don't want to say approach the man, right? But you have to give a gentle or a subtle cue that you're interested, right? And I'm not talking about, like, once again, looking at the man and smiling. I mean a simple thing like, hey, how was your day? I remember this, or oh, I remember you talked about this. How's this coming along? Um, Spark the conversation almost. And the emotionally intelligent man, once again, is going to see effort. And we acknowledge and we reward that effort with our attentiveness, with our presence. We're not going to be present with any woman that we don't feel deserves that level of depth within us. So when we see a woman showing effort, because a lot of women in this day and age don't, right? Because they lack that certain level of emotional intelligence. They're very emotional, but they don't. Sometimes it just gets very, well, y'all just get very loose with it. But when a man sees that level of effort, he's going to turn on that pursue mode, or that pursue, spirit, because it's coming from a spirit of certainty. But if you aren't giving him no type of subtle cue, if you aren't, opening your energy, because that's something that he can differentiate very clearly. Chances are you aren't memorizing everything that the last person told you, and giving them back facts or trying to give them advice, trying to help, chances are you're not doing that with everybody. And we know that. And we're going to take that as a sign that this person is paying attention. And that's something that we actually look for in wives too. Your attentiveness, your ability to pay attention to detail, your ability to, see blind spots and potentially want to help or, understand where we're at in our journey and be a part of that. That's why I say paying attention to the man that you're trying to interact with, but also opening his energy up, opening it up so you guys can create a space of intimacy. That is going to ring as a green flag to a lot of emotionally intelligent men, because out here, how we see it, there's just a lot of women who, yes, you guys look good, you guys have a lot of beautiful energy, everything, but your souls or your spirit, a lot of you guys' spirits aren't where it needs to be, because you guys rely so much on your physical attributes to overcompensate, because the men out here are lower quality and they're accepting less and doing more for less. That's why Figueroa and 304s is a thing. You get what I'm saying? Everything that you guys do that is kind of low vibrational, it is because we are kind of pouring into it, and kind of the reason why it's happening. Okay, now the third tip that I actually would give to you guys that I think is very, very, very beneficial is location. Emotionally intelligent men, you're typically not gonna find them in a club. You're typically not gonna find this person over a drink of some strong liquor. You're typically not gonna find this place somewhere where it's just a whole bunch of low vibrational frequencies and energies happening around you. You're typically gonna find these men in coffee shops. You're typically gonna find these men around books, library, literature, art, parks, workout areas, hikes, different things like that. Because emotional intelligence always does open you more up to your more feminine attributes. Because in order for you to understand it, you have to be consciously aware of it. And that's going to manifest in different things that he does. Maybe he's going to start doing yoga. Everybody's going to look at him like, oh man, that's a dude doing yoga. He's clearly for the other side. But deep down, that man may actually live longer because he understands his body is a temple, and he isn't, emotionally vulnerable to the point where he lets outside society dictate what he can and cannot do to maintain his masculinity. That is a sign of high levels of emotional intelligence, long-term thinking, intentfulness, knowing that going on hikes, breathing in fresh air, being in nature is a grounding practice, is very healthy and just spiritually aligning, and it can help you be more focused in your business. It can help you make more money. It can help you have more clarity throughout the days. But like I said, that comes with a certain level of emotional intelligence. I've always run into other emotionally intelligent men in spaces that I'm in. You get what I'm saying? It's like once I started thinking different and moving different, I started running into other men that also move the way that I moved. So, but the crazy thing is, wherever I'm in these instances, the women aren't there. But it's in spaces where women should be. But you guys are going to different places looking for us instead of just, don't kind of doing what you guys kind of want to. Most people want to wake up, probably, go get their coffee, go eat a little small breakfast like that, go work out. Most people want to dedicate some time to read, meditate. Most people don't want to go to the club every night. Most people don't want to go to the club every weekend. But majority of you guys are doing that because you think that there's something there that's for you in that environment, when the things that you're trying to attract aren't there. Because chances are, if they were in the places that you were going, you would have attracted them by now. Now, the very last thing that I think you should really pay attention to, and this is with the perspective of you've already met this man, you kind of already have him in your vicinity, and there's a little bit of, bond building and connection happening. The man who tells you how he feels, that is a high level of emotional intelligence. In today's culture, in today's world, it is a sin, damn near, for a man to show emotion and tell his woman how he feels, because we always think that's going to be used against us, right? Now, the emotionally intelligent man will always come out as open, vulnerable, in a sense, not because he is vulnerable. In fact, the emotionally intelligent man is usually the less vulnerable because he understands what's happening and it's a level of consciousness that gives a certain level of power over direction. The unemotionally intelligent man is letting his emotion take him on so many different roller coasters that he's not in control of his own destiny. The moment the man runs into you and he starts telling you, hey, I didn't like this. This made me feel some type of way. Like, I'm okay feeling insecure, or I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do this. This make me feel some type of way. Don't look at him like he's sassy and he's gay and all this other type of stuff, because you're getting what you asked for. You got a man who can articulate exactly what he wants, so you aren't left clueless on what the problem is. If the man can tell you exactly what's getting under his skin, exactly what's pissing him off, exactly what the problem is, that is a clear opportunity for you to either make the adjustment or have the tough conversation. But if you're dealing with an emotionally unavailable or an emotionally unintelligent man, you're going to be left in so much confusion and chaos because he's not going to actually ever tell you what the problem is. He's never actually going to bring that level of clarity to you. And that's going to F you up in your head, spiritually and emotionally. So when you run across that emotionally intelligent man, cherish his emotions, because he's then took so much time to not only bring up those emotions, because they're usually buried by society since birth. Once he's brought it up, he's not only healed them enough to sit in them and then work through them to where he can articulate them to the next person and possibly try working through it. And emotionally intelligent men typically aren't that difficult to spot. It usually comes down to whether you're ready to hold that amount of pressure or weight that he's going to bring into your life, because it's going to be a great deal of accountability, but it's also going to be a great deal of growth, because anybody and everybody knows once you start holding yourself to very high levels of accountability, you see your life start sculpting and you see your life start changing in the trajectory that you want it to, because at the end all be all, it comes down to you. Once you hold yourself accountable, growth comes from it. The emotionally intelligent person is not going to let things go unsaid, no stone turned, unflipped. Everything is going to be brought up to the surface, because that's where the growth happens. That's where the love happens. That's where you guys get into the tough conversations and then you guys magically find a solution, and the connection gets deeper because you guys are problem solving. And every single time you do that, it's just like a tally. Is, people be like, oh, here's all my relationship scars. How about all of our relationship trophies? All the times where you've been healed through something, all the times where you and your partner has made up after an argument or made amends after something. We should hold those trophies just as much as we hold the scars from the past. So with that being said, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. As always, my books is down in the description. The healing guide books, the ones for my community and everything like that. Y'all can always check it out. Let me know if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, either in the comments. You guys can hit me on my Instagram, Jhay Sincere, or hit me on TikTok. I don't really know where y'all be coming from nowadays. But with that being said, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day.